With Overflow, you can create lists, not normal lists, well, yes, also normal lists, but in particular complex data structures. An example may be finances, your bank account, the amount of your investment, or the value of the properties you own. Or you can prepare Christmas gift lists with related prices, or the checklist of movies to watch, or books to read. You can also plan a trip setting a budget and checking at any time whether you are respecting it or not. When you launch Overflow for the first time, there's a quick tutorial that will show you the main features of the app, using the app itself. There are two kinds of elements in Overflow, folders and single items. Folders, of course, are groups of single elements and work as containers. You can distinguish folders from items by the bold fonts in the name. In this example, the first element is an item and the last two are folders. If elements have a value, you can see it on the right, with the total in the lower right part of the screen. You can navigate to a subdirectory or access item details of an element tapping on its name, in this case a single item. There are several info you can add, like a title, a subtitle, a value and a note, plus several options we'll see later. You can quickly add or change a value tapping on it, or press Edit to change everything else. The color of the bars above and below the screen always reflect the total of the items inside. Green when it's positive, red when negative, and blue when there are no values. Let's now see more advanced features. The first item in the list is grayed out. This means it's an independent element. It's very useful when you want to have different groups or lists you don't want to mix together. For example, your bank account and a wish list. As you can see, the negative 5000 value is not included in the total. As you can see, there's an independent item in this folder too. To assign this property to an item, press Edit and select or deselect Exclude from Total. There's a quicker way to do so, and we'll see it now with Quick Menu. Slide your finger on an item from right to left and 4 buttons will appear. The first grey one will activate or deactivate the independent feature we just saw. The green one will take you to the edit screen. The blue one will let you duplicate an item or move it elsewhere, and the red one will delete it. An option for lists are checklists. Not much to say about them, they are classic checklists. But in this case, a new progress indicator appears on the bottom left bar of the screen, and a small icon will tell you if the list is complete, empty or halfway. To transform a normal list in a checklist or vice versa, edit the item and select the related option. Budgets are special lists very useful for keeping your shopping under control. You set a limit value and every new element you add will be subtracted from it. For example, during a trip or when buying Christmas presents. Usually only single items have a value, but if you set one to a folder, it will automatically become a budget list. There's a special option here. Normally, when you add a new item value, it will have a positive value. Setting this option will make new elements added negative, perfect for entering expenses. You can quickly swap from the total sum of expenses to the remaining budget, and this setting will be memorized for every single list, even if you go to another directory of Overflow. Every item or folder can be protected with the system encryption, making your data safe and away from curious eyes. This lets you have public and private lists. Any iOS unlocking method will be available: Face ID, Touch ID or password code. To access all the protected items at once, or protect them all together, tap the small lock icon on the top bar. With Overflow, you can save a snapshot of all your lists in time and compare them as you like. It's very useful with bank accounts. Saving a snapshot every month, for example, will give you an idea of your finances during the year. To do this, we'll use the archive function. Every time you change something in your data, the archive button becomes white, as a suggestion to make a snapshot. You can create it or ignore. To compare two snapshots, select them and in the lower right part of the screen you'll see the difference, along with the time distance in days. Every snapshot is completely editable, so you can correct values or remove the lists you don't need to keep with time. Tapping the screen title for about 1 second is a quick way to return to Overflow lists. To make a backup of all your data, you can use the backup function. Unlike the archive section that keeps all your snapshots on your device, the backup function lets you export everything to a personal computer or another iOS device. So, should your iPhone or iPad have problems, you will have a copy safely stored. You can also use this function to keep data synced between devices. The restore function activates automatically when you send a backup file to an iOS device with Overflow installed. It lets you backup the current lists before restoring the new data. Every element of the list can be moved with a simple drag and drop. And it's possible to convert a single item to a folder and vice versa. Well, this will conclude our quick tour. Overflow is available in Apple App Store for iPhone and iPad as an universal application, with English and Italian languages. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.